So you're seeing that some of the old methods we've used don't always work. So I did give you some nice problems earlier that if you try to do the same methods here, they're not going to work. That's why I'm giving you more methods and more things to try. So here we have a vertex of 4, -2. Alright, so that still works. Vertex form is still nice. But if you try to do like the y-intercept and you plug in 4, we get 16 times 2, 32 minus 2, which is 30. And the y-intercept we can't graph. 30 would be way up here, 0, 30. So that's why I'm having you guys also solve now, where you have this equal to 0. Add 2 to both sides. Divide both sides by 2, or whatever number is in front. And then we can take the square root of both sides and get x minus 4 equals 1, x minus 4 equals -1. And then when you solve that, 5 and 3, we'll get those y-intercepts of x-intercepts of 5 and 3. And then from that information, go ahead and graph. So yeah, the first thing you want to do is try 0 though still, but just know that, well, that's not always going to work. That's why you have these other methods. We can't always rely on the same thing over and over. Any others on the front you want to see get started at least? Okay. Alright, anything on the back that we want to talk about? So, go ahead and complete the square. Half of 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1. To make it equal to -1 above, I have to subtract 2. The first 3 terms equal x plus 1 squared. So my vertex form is, my vertex is -1, -2. But then when you solve this, x plus 1 squared equals 2, add 2 to both sides, take the square root both sides, x plus 1 equals plus or minus about 1.4. Square root of 2, put in your calculator, about 1.4. Okay, subtract 1 on both sides, we'll get -1 plus or minus 1.4. So -1 plus 1.4 is like 0.4. And then we have -1 minus 1.4 would be -2.4. So we can still graph this, get an idea what it looks like. You know it's opening upwards. So 0.4 and -2.4 is what that would look like. That's the 0.4, that's -2.4, vertex down below. Well, more of the same, but we're going to be practicing this, just getting those roots. Of course, we could factor and get the same answers, which we'll look at next week and do a lot more together as we're doing the imaginary stuff. And so complete the square and solve to get the roots. And the bottom here is just practice solving. There's nothing too different about it compared to what you've already done. 2 answers, plus or minus 1. Okay. I guess the only exception would be 22. That's where you get 0. So there's only one answer. There's no plus 0, minus 0. There's just 0. Okay. This will take some time. I know it's the weekend. Please do not show up with this blank and say, or you wait till Sunday night or Monday morning or afternoon at lunch to try to all of a sudden remember how to do all this. It's not going to come back to you. And these are increasingly worth more points, so showing up with nothing to class does not help your cause of passing the class. So spend the time that you need to spend to get it done. Don't procrastinate. Okay? And it'll turn out okay. Keep on working. There's still some time left.